Virgo, how are you? Welcome to the channel and to your reading, Virgo. We are going to connect with your energies for these days. Remember, these are general readings, so take what resonates, what applies to your situation, let go of what does not. Check your rising sign because it reveals something more. February 22nd, the 22-2 portal day. Let's look at those manifest energies for Virgo. It is truly a moment of manifestation. Everything is coming together for you right now. What is coming for you and what are the angels telling us? Well, the time has come to move on to something else because solutions are arriving following a conversation that brings a difficult decision that you need to make. That is what awaits you. The Archangel Raphael is speaking to us about the emotional healing you've been searching for, about that urgent need inside you to let go and move on to something else entirely. The Eight of Cups represents the deep intention or the earnest will to seek out true happiness, fully knowing that making such a difficult decision implies undertaking a journey that is obviously challenging. Well, there are feelings involved. There's dedication, time, work, sacrifice, and waiting. But it is worth risking change and moving forward in the face of a reality that I may not be very clear about how it will happen or how it will arise, but I will do it because my happiness is at stake, and that is non-negotiable. The Eight of Cups tells us that something much better is waiting for you on the other side. You have to do what feels right for you, which in this case means doing what is best for Virgo. Trust your journey and keep moving forward toward your true path. You are conducting searches at a spiritual level as well, and that certainly brings you emotional balance, does it not? Archangel Raphael is also speaking to us regarding what could be this specific conversation, which brings a solution that is, as I tell you, truly and deeply a healing one for you. You may currently be in the process of reaching a mutual agreement with someone. It does not necessarily mean that this individual is specifically or strictly someone who is involved with you on a romantic level. It might be a difficult conversation that you need to have with someone to finally clear up a situation that is currently making you feel quite bad. Or perhaps you are simply experiencing a deep personal need to change this specific reality for yourself. Then the necessary measures are taken so you can open yourself up to finding a solution. Because you have to be open, you also need to be willing on your end to, be receptive to the other person, right? It really requires that effort from both sides. Because if you remain only with with that specific attitude within your own position, right? You are caught in your personal need to be happy. And while that is certainly fine and acceptable, but we do not make room for the other person. So we are always left with that need to, clear up this problem because I want to move past this for good, for my own well-being. It is all about finding that necessary peace of mind. Success, real success, always comes as the result of an agreement. I have no doubt about it. An agreement that finally brings a clear objective into our lives. In other words, that agreement is very important for you to have because based on that, you will decide on a specific goal, one that leads you in another direction. Surely this energy also speaks of profound healing in other significant aspects of your life. It speaks of what might also have to do with being open to receiving the very best of this experience, doesn't it? It is truly about embracing all the positive changes coming your way. Everything would truly go much better if you opened yourself up to genuine dialogue. Based on that conversation, you could consciously make a well-considered decision while maintaining complete personal, mental, spiritual, and physical balance. Because if we continue analyzing a situation, we are unable to reach a firm agreement. We remain trapped in that unproductive loop, which fails to produce anything positive, resulting in the exact opposite of our intended goals. So one way or another, there's a conversation Virgo is going to have in the next few hours, and it's the kind of talk that brings everything to a head, calling for what could finally become a definitive, lasting solution. Yes, and that is where you choose to select the best path, whatever is most convenient for you, and whatever aligns most with your happiness. Please remember that these readings are very general in nature. If you have any questions or want to discuss your specific case, you can book a personal reading with me directly through my official website. That is where you can set your schedule, and we will be in touch whenever you are ready. You also have a pinned comment that will take you directly to the website. Well, there are two distinct situations that are currently speaking to us about moments. Specifically, difficult moments that are finally coming to an end and are being successfully overcome. The first one is emotional once again, while the second could be the deep worries that are generated by not having this final agreement or this formal resolution. These circumstances are what ultimately provide you with the necessary security or the strong determination to absolutely understand that this is, without a doubt, the right moment to move forward with that. Because the sadness regarding what is currently causing you uncertainty, as well as the deep sorrow for what did not unfold exactly as you had originally expected, keeps you trapped, as I clearly see, in that repetitive loop. You become discouraged and distracted. You feel far more conflicts and complications than truly exist, and consequently, you delay the arrival of the new opportunities that are waiting for you. That is why I tell you, in the moment you might feel like this is the worst thing happening to you, that it is a very complicated and sad situation, and there is so much darkness in this matter. That window is opening up to finally let the light shine through for you. Here is a very significant letter regarding that. Do not feel like you are undeserving of having this conversation, of fixing this situation, or even that you are undeserving of reaching this happiness that can come hand in hand with something that also has to do with your finances. You truly deserve all of this. The Five of Pentacles is a card that tells us, well, if in this situation you're going through, you feel like there's nothing else left to do, like you can't move forward, not even financially, then I think the Five of Pentacles is calling you to look for a way out. It's asking you not to stay stuck in that feeling of lack or defeat, but to recognize that even in the middle of hardship, there's still an exit, still a path you can take if you're willing to search for it. Because it is in the middle of a crisis where we truly rise up, giving everything we have to go after what we want, right? Perhaps many people have let themselves go, and this is the absolute most they can endure. So it is finally time to take the risk. If we continue dwelling within an energy of constant worry, deep loss, and total defeat, it is impossible for the solution or the healing regarding this specific difficult issue to manifest and take hold today. The Five of Pentacles speaks to us about opportunity in the face of crisis. Finding that solution might not even require you to have a dialogue with someone. Although no, I actually think that is how it happens, right? But it does not necessarily imply an actual conversation or a direct open dialogue. Maybe you're the one who has to take the reins in the middle of a crisis and understand that you're capable of handling this and making it out of this situation. So how do you do that? How do you take charge when everything seems to be falling apart around you? Well, you can ask for help, or you can rearrange how you handle other things, right? Look at how you're managing your money, your time, and your energy. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you listening to that need to find something that actually satisfies or fulfills you? Why do you keep settling for something that only gives you half of what you need? It is time to start choosing yourself instead. It comes in small installments, delivered to you in tiny little drops, doesn't it? Because that could certainly be the case as well. Perhaps you are searching for a definitive solution to a situation where you feel you are struggling, feeling that you are not truly valued, not accepted, and not even recognized by others. I believe that also ends because you have a Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the card that speaks to us of determination. Determination, and above all, acting with the necessary courage to, from that inner impulse, cut through all the personal blocks you may currently have regarding this matter. However, it is also essential to balance other things in your life. You must break through these persistent obstacles and even shatter those specific blocks that cause you to feel as if you are in a crisis. This also arises from someone who, in a truly determined, incredibly brave, and very hurried manner, might currently be actively triggering that specific conversation to take place among the group at this time. This week, we might find ourselves running into people we truly need to reconnect with because we want to mend those ties. This could be on an emotional level, of course, but it could also involve other things entirely as we navigate these unexpected meetings together. Let us not forget that the Knight of Swords is a card that also makes it possible for you to move forward with a certain sense of judgment regarding what you have determined is valid for yourself. This energy empowers you to cut through the noise and pursue your own personal truth. I think this speaks volumes about your courage, the willingness to look elsewhere for something better. But it also highlights the determination and bravery it takes for someone to finally confront something that, until now, they simply could not face. It is truly a powerful moment of growth for them. So I think someone here might even be regretting something they didn't do, and they don't want to make that mistake again. They don't want it. They simply don't want to live through that experience. I mean, I feel like that person might have even regretted what they didn't do, or perhaps what they did, which could have ended up causing some kind of problem for them along the way. Therefore, this is also a significant moment where deep feelings are undoubtedly involved. That is precisely why it will be necessary to carefully develop certain situations that have to do with practicing empathy, maintaining patience, or simply knowing how to think clearly before speaking out loud, or even before choosing how to act in such delicate circumstances. And especially with the energy of Mercury retrograde, this will apply to some. But it is also telling me that you might not be venturing into many things that will demand your attention, or many things that are about to be unlocked. Everything seems to be shifting for you now. And above all, things that you are going to defend that you believe are true, right? Because it is also fair for you to defend something that has to do with your happiness. It could be a situation where you also need to set the record straight once and for all. That is exactly where temperance comes into play. It is about finding that necessary balance in the middle of the chaos, ensuring that things are handled with patience and a very clear, steady hand today. Temperance also helps you find the necessary balance, ensuring that this situation presents itself in a much more harmonious and less violent manner, because the essence of this card is truly related to that. You are also using the need to put an end to a situation that overwhelms you, that makes you, it is just not good for you. That could also be the reason. It is time to finally move on from this burden. And you are also discovering through the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords that certain obstacles are finally coming to an end. These blocks had previously prevented you from accessing resources or managing affairs related to how you might secure an opportunity, even when you feel you are at a disadvantage. You are learning how to navigate through these times of crisis and find a way forward despite your current feelings of struggle. Well, things often escalate so that we finally realize we must move forward. We are truly capable of seeing the hidden opportunity, even when we are surrounded by crisis, deep desolation, or pain. There is an energy that presents itself so that you can change something, so that you can move something, so that you can transform something and embrace the opportunities that come your way. It is the perfect moment for you to finally take a leap of faith. The conflict, the struggle, the defeat, and the overwhelming mental exhaustion, along with the emotional and even the physical burdens, are also finally coming to an end, because that Knight of Swords cuts through all of that now. We are going to see that perhaps you are finally making the decision to walk away from someone once and for all with no turning back. It is time to let go and move on, regardless of how difficult the process might be. That might be true for some, but for others not, yet here it says you are turning the page in a big way. 35, 53 are master numbers. You must be clear about what you need or feel and what you want to change in yourself or your life so you can break free, leave those old limitations behind, and finally pursue your true purpose. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing is by chance. And that is what the Five of Cups tells us. Everything happens for a reason, it tells me. Although the underlying reasons might not be entirely clear to you at this very moment, you are currently experiencing two significant and critical emotional as well as personal changes. It says you must trust that your highest ideals and desires can manifest as a result, sometimes in the most unexpected or unlikely ways you could ever imagine finding. And that is exactly what the Knight of Swords brings to you: sudden, unexpected things and unforeseen events. These occurrences obviously provide the long-awaited solution you have been needing for such a very long time. Let us place our trust in this and let us declare it so that it truly happens.